Today, with our multiple transactions, we felt we were bringing in good players, players that are leaders, players that are culture guys, players that would help our day-to-day accountability. They bring character, high compete level, and are great pros. These players want to be in Ottawa. Nikita Zaitsev waived his no-trade clause, and he had us on it to come to Ottawa. Ron Hainsey had multiple options and decided to come to Ottawa. Ennis had options, decided to come to Ottawa. And of the 4 bona fide NHL players we talked to today, I can tell you that both DJ and I can say that Conor Brown is probably the most excited to be here. One of the goals of this offseason was to bring in solid veteran leaders around our talented young group of players. And we feel we've achieved that. A few weeks ago, I said the next 10 to 14 days would be crucial for us and what we're trying to achieve for a team to grow and develop. The last couple of weeks, we feel great about our draft. Our amateur staff under Trent Mann has done a wonderful job. Our development camp was probably one of the best we've ever had. We were, after the end of development camp yesterday, we were arguing as we felt that we were probably in the teens of number of NHL players we have coming up. I think DJ's putting his staff together and doing a great job of that. And now we've solidified our group with 4 quality veterans. So the question was, with adding 2 veterans on our back end, is there a limited number of spots for young players? And right now with Chabot, Zaitsev, Hainsey, Borwicki, and DeMello, we're either going to carry 7 or 8 defensemen, and that still opens the door for guys like Brandstrom, Wolanin. Jaros probably has a bit of a head start on those guys. Lajoie, Englund. So we still feel that there's still going to be a lot of youth. For us, during the offseason, we realized that we had to cut down on the number of goals against. If I'm not mistaken, our goalie coach told me that the league average in save percentage is .905 or .906. And when Anderson and Nielsen played for us, I think their save percentage was .905 or .906. I might be off here. And we knew that with what the systems that DJ is going to bring in, that our personnel needed to be better. It's always tougher for younger players to step in the league as defensemen, and we feel with guys like Nikita Zaitsev and Ron Hainsey that our young players are going to benefit from them. We can't forget that Chabot has played 1.5 years in the league. Down the road, Brandstrom's played just a few games in the league. Wolanin has played, parts of one season in the league. So we still have to remember that defense is a tough position, and making sure they're surrounded well is going to be key for them. And obviously, when we were looking at free agents, we were looking for someone on the back end that could mentor, stabilize our defense. And when we were going through the names through our pro scouts, when the season ended, Ron Hainsey's name came up. And then we hired DJ. And DJ has mentioned to us many times that what Ron Hainsey did with the young defense group in Toronto the last few years was very important for them, and we feel he can do that for us.
Just kind of picking up on that note, I'm just curious what role your new head coach had in pursuing names like Hainsey, Zaitsev, Brown, Ennis, if any, or were those names on your list before DJ came to Ottawa?
No, obviously, first and foremost, our hockey operations, pro scouts, are the ones that come up with the names, and we all know that probably the Leafs were under a certain cap crunch, and I know I talked to Kyle about Zaitsev at the trade deadline. I know I talked to Kyle about Conor Brown during the time of the year, and I think everyone saw that Kyle and I had a few discussions on the draft floor, and obviously I think our pro scouts, our hockey operations come up with ideas, but when you have a guy who's had them in the room for the last 2 years, I think it's just a bonus. He knows their character. He knows he doesn't want bad apples in a room. And if you talk to DJ, and I'm sure you're going to get the chance to talk to him at some point in time during the summer, he's going to vouch for the character of these 4 players. And I think that for us, that's just a bonus in the culture that we're trying to achieve here.
When did the discussion start on a deal with the Leafs, and why Zaitsev?
Well, discussions have been going on for a while. I think after the season, as I alluded to, I think without getting myself in too much trouble, Kyle and I talked about Zaitsev around trade deadline, different pieces. At the end of the year, we obviously knew that they were going to have to do something, so we inquired about Brown. They weren't. I can't say they were shopping actively because I can't speak about their behalf, but we inquired about Conor Brown. Our pro scouts feel that after the year Conor Brown has had as a rookie year, and our amateur scouts who've seen him, a player who led the CHL in scoring, we feel that he still hasn't reached his offensive upside. And he was a key part in this deal for us to get. So for us, getting those two pieces was really key, but the talks have been going on since I think both seasons finished. Obviously, before the playoffs started, I phoned Kyle and I said, Kyle, we know it won't get out between you and I told him at some point in time we'd like to interview DJ. And then when they were done, obviously we got permission, and we've been talking through the summer, or since the season ended. And if you ask why Zaitsev, Bruce, just to get on there, for us, Zaitsev does a lot of things that we're looking for. Our biggest goal here is we were 31st in goals against last year. I don't know where we were the year before. We were really high. He's a strong defender. He's got great feet. He's ultra competitive. He plays in that defensive mold. And what he does well is he gets in lanes and blocks up, and he boxes out well. And for us, the type of defenseman that we need is exactly there. And when you look at 20-minute guys, not many out there, and we like the fact that we have him under contract for the next 5 years. Who's someone that we're told, or DJ guaranteed me, he's one of the guys that's always in the top shape. You know what? I think we've done a lot of work in the last few days. We really feel good about our, obviously, in the next few days, probably going to talk to Colin White's agent, as well as Thomas Chabot's agent, Nick Paul's agent, Christian Willanen's agent, and now Michael Carcone's agent. So that's probably what's on the agenda for the next few weeks. After that, our roster right now, I don't see us making any big changes. I think we've talked about the defensemen that we have, the 5, and whether we have 2 or 3 younger guys. And up front, you look and you've got Tkachuk, Duclair, Ennis, Smith, White, Tierney, Pajot, Ryan, Brown, Bodker. And if we're going to carry 13, it's spot for 3 players internally, possibly 3 young guys that could also join our team, but I don't see us doing much now.
Is there any hesitation for you to trade with a division rival for when you see someone like Cody Ceci go the other way, and even Ben Harper, that you just go, I sure hope this doesn't come back to haunt me at some point?
No, not at all. I think Lisa, it's a good question, but I think our biggest thing is making the Ottawa Senators better. And whomever we might trade for, our goal is always to make sure the Ottawa Senators are better. And we feel we've done that today in adding 4 quality NHL veterans, whether it's through trades or free agency. We're really comfortable with this decision, or these decisions.
When you look, was Ben Harper part of that deal just because when you look at your depth chart of young defensemen?
No, and that's a very good point with, you obviously look at our young defensemen on the left side, and, we have who we feel is arguably one of the better defensemen outside the NHL, and Eric Brandstrom, Christian Willanen. You look at Max Lajoie, who played a lot for us. You look at Andreas Englund. So we really feel comfortable with the defense on our left side. And you look on the right side for, obviously, with Nikita Zaitsev for quite a number of years here. And then you look at Bernard Docker, who probably was even better than Brandstrom at development camp. And then you look at Lassie Thompson we drafted. So we know our defense is going to be good for many years to come. So it made Ben expendable, and Ben totally understood. Very good conversation with him this morning, early this morning. A lot of questions today, Sylvain. Yeah.
Pierre, tu nous as bien expliqué pourquoi Zaitsev cadrait dans votre moule. Maintenant, qu'est-ce que Ron Hainsey apporte de façon...
Yeah. As far as Ron Hainsey, I think we're looking for someone as a mentor, someone to stabilize our young defense. I think Ron will help in a day-to-day. He's been around it all. He's been a cup winner. He's seen it all. If I remember correctly, I was at the head of the scouting in Montreal when we drafted him. So of all the people probably in our staff, I've known him the longest. And we know just what type of character he is. He can play left or right side, which is beneficial, especially sometimes younger kids struggle on their opposite side. He's got one of the best sticks I've ever seen. He's just a veteran presence. He'll bring a calming effect. I think you're going to see us less running around because of the presence that Ron Hainsey brings. And what's good is that when both DJ and myself, and I think Peter were making the sell to him and his agent, they liked the plan. They liked the fact that, and Ronnie liked the fact that he could be a mentor as he was for many young Toronto defensemen over the course of the last few years.
I'd like to ask you to elaborate on Thomas Chabot contract talks with him. What kind of deal would you like to sign with a guy like that who's obviously, could be a star in this league for a long time? And when would you like to have that fall into place, everything going well?
I think we get, Dan, with all due respect, I think we get too much caught up with contract talks in this city. We know what we have to do. We'll get it done. It's not like he's a UFA. He's an RFA. We have a plan in place. Along with all our RFAs that are up this year, we've had a plan, and we're going to meet it sometime over the course of the summer.
You just said a word about Jordan Schwartz.
Oh yeah, Jordan Schwartz is a guy that we signed on a two-way contract. He's been a captain in the American League for two different places. He's someone that when we talk to him over the free agency period, that knows that he could possibly challenge for a spot in Ottawa, can play right wing, can play center. A really solid, smart, high character player that we want to bring into our organization. And you know what? For a lot of our hockey operations people, our scouts, our assistant general manager, they're really happy, including and the general manager too. We're really happy we've added him to our organization. And it's the same thing for Michael Carcone. We did try to get him in a trade with Vancouver earlier in the year. He went to Toronto, and he's someone that maybe no one's giving much attention to, but we feel that he's got a chance to be, whether it's a depth player, whether it's a call-up, whether it's an NHL player. We just like his drive, his goal-scoring ability, so we're also happy about getting him in the deal.
Is
We're
Ennis
going
a
to
guy?
finish on a good note, Bruce?
Yeah. Is Ennis a guy who can play up and down?
Yeah, no, Ennis for us was, when we talked to him, we knew he had other options, and both DJ and myself talked to him the other day, and agent insisted on being on the phone, which we made fun of him. But Ennis is a really versatile guy. He plays the game the way we want to play it, with high energy, gets on the puck, can play on the power play. And most important thing for Tyler Ennis, anyone who knows him, he's a great culture guy. He's a great locker room guy. He knows how to bring people together. And that was one of the things that we're looking to do. So on that note, we're really happy to bring him, and, wherever he'll fit in our lineup, DJ will decide that, but we're really excited to have him on board.